I'm Dirtbag Dan, and we're mixing it up a little bit here today. Normally, Rob is sitting over here in this seat, but today we want to learn a little bit more about him and what makes him work, his whole history, all those things. So, Rob, let's get started. First question, how long have you been at Big Agnes, and how'd you get started?
I've been at Big Agnes 11 years. Amazingly, 11 years.
11 years.
I'm still alive is actually what we really want to talk about. I actually have known Bill, who started Big Agnes, for as long as I lived in Steamboat, which is about 29 years now. And I've talked shop with him for many years, and at a point in my life in transition, I was looking for something, new, and he was looking for somebody as well. And he always thought that I should just be working for him anyway, being friends and talking shop and all that kind of stuff. And opportunity came up and got me a job, and here I am now.
The rest is history, huh?
Yep.
So how did you meet Bill?
I used to work at Cagino's Italian restaurant here in town, and it was over by the Little Red House, which is our retail store, BAP. And we would do these like Thursday lunches, and give free pizza to the school across the street. Well, we had an extra pizza the one day, so I decided, well, let's go over to BAP and see if those guys want it. Met Bill, gave him free pizza, and we've been friends ever since.
There you go. Very cool. Best friendships start with pizza, I find. Okay, so we're here on the stakeout. Define to me, what is the stakeout to you? What's the purpose of these videos? Why are we here?
I think we're here, honestly, to share kind of who we are, what we do as an outdoor brand, and the amazing people that we get to be, interact with, be it a photographer, an ambassador, a cool nonprofit that we work with, that we're not just all about the gear, we're also about the people.
Gotcha. I love it. Love it. So let's talk about you a little bit. You said you've worked here 11 years. Sure, you've seen a lot of different gear come and go. What sticks out to you? What were some of the biggest hits, your favorite pieces of gear that Big Agnes has made?
If I may.
Please.
Dirtbag. I got to go on a company camp out before I even worked for Big Agnes, and I got to try out one of the first long pads ever made. And went on a camp out to Fruta. Bill's like, here, check this pad out while you're with us. And it was like, back then, 10 people, 12 people as a staff, if that. And got done the camping trip, and I was like, this thing's rad. And he's like, so what do you think? And I was already like kind of boasting about it. I was like, it fit me. I'm 6'3". I'm like, this is awesome.
Right.
And he was like, you like it? And I was like, yeah, it fit me. It was great. And he goes, cool, cheers.
So your feet weren't sticking off the end?
Feet weren't sticking off the end. I was like, magic. And then from there, so many different things. I will say, just near and dear to my heart, and being able to be one of those people that gave, a couple comments, feedback on what we needed and not needed in our bike packing tents. I think, bike packing tents are a big deal for us. The sleep system is, nobody's still been able to, jump on that bandwagon with us.
Yeah. And
we've even done multiple versions of it. And we always seem to make it better every time I think we can't make it better. Another sleep system. And when we go out and, in this great big world and go to events and stuff, a lot of people always, at least 10 people, always make a comment like, that sleep system of yours is incredible. It's my best night's sleep every single time.
That is true. You do hear that a lot. That is kind of one of the big hits, I would say. All right. So let's talk some more about you. Big tattoo guy, right? I don't know if this really comes through in the video, but my man's got some tattoos.
Just a couple.
Favorite one? Story behind it? Anything like that?
Favorite one. Wow.
I don't know. It's like picking a favorite kid.
My gosh, thank God I only have one. Kid that is.
One kid.
One kid that is. Oh my gosh. Legs, arms. I'd say there's 2 to 3. I have a St. Bernard elope.
Oh, wow.
Anything you put antlers on is an elope, like a jackalope. Well, I have a St. Bernard elope. It's I believe, only one of its kind. That's what this one right here. It's my homie Max. I've had 4 St. Bernards in my life. But then like, it's also the tattoo artist. And it's my best friend Brady who did all this work on me. He, I give him an idea. Most times he just shoot it down. No. How about this? No. And then finally we'll come to something, or I'll just give him something general. And I was like, I want something for, I've lost some people in my life. So I have a jackalope riding a cattle skull, knocking down a bottle of whiskey, pouring one out for the homies I've lost. I wanted a sushi tattoo, but I didn't want traditional. So I have a samurai frog riding a koi fish.
Definitely not traditional. Yeah. So speaking of the homies, leads me to my next question. Working with Rob, you often hear him talking about his best friends and his homies. What's the difference?
Most of my best friends, I'd probably at least take a knife for. My homies, I'd take a bullet for.
Fair enough. Short and sweet. Love it. Okay. So one thing that I've learned about you, working with you, big Manchester United fan. Now, you grew up in New Jersey and California.
Yep.
How'd you become a Manchester United fan? How'd that happen?
In the East Coast, in Jersey, playing soccer since I was like 5-6 years old. And, back then we had some U.S. soccer and like small leagues and stuff, but nothing at that level. And being, I think, just kind of across the pond, Premier League is what I was able to like see on TV and start watching. And I kind of just liked the Red Devils. And I was a goalkeeper. So a little bit of that extra spice. Peter Schmeichel.
Classic.
He's who I looked up to and thought he was awesome, and then some, and took to that team. And then, back in the day, so many Cantona, Giggs, Beckham. I watched those matches when they won the treble way back. Yeah. Whatever it was, 99 or whatever. I watched that final match where they took it and were one of the first teams to do that. And now City did that.
Right.
Boo, Esther.
We have another fan who is another coworker who's a Man City fan. So a little bit of tension in the office sometimes.
Sometimes. Stacy on Fridays.
Yeah. Okay. So got a couple. So how about this? Another thing that I've learned about you, big into bike racing. What was your first bike race, and when did you know that this was something that you wanted to get deep into?
That's a great question. I actually have a story for that. I know it's weird that I might have a story.
Wow, shocker.
24 Hours of Adrenaline Series, Winter Park, Colorado, was my first 24-hour bike race. 4-man team, geared. It rained off and on. Our one homie had technically a dry lap. Did not rain on him for like 6 laps. I did like 5 laps, and everyone rained. We weren't prepared for that. We were rookies to kind of the whole thing. And so we made like makeshift tarps, and we found a tarp behind a dumpster and like made this camp, and the rain mostly stayed off of us. Getting beat up. But on a 4-man team, you do get to do some rest and some sleep. Well, it was like 3 a.m, and the first person to go and the third person are kind of teammates. 2nd and 4 are teammates. So when 4 gets done, 1 goes out, they're talking to number 2. Hey, they're doing like an hour and 15-minute laps, so you got about an hour to be ready. Yeah. Well, buddy shakes the tent. I sit up. I'm like, okay. I'm not even sure what's going on. It's like 3:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's fuzzy seeing. It's fuzzy hearing. Like I think I'm literally just I'm sleeping. Yeah. I'm sitting up, but I'm sleeping. And then all of a sudden, vision was clear, hearing was clear, and I was like, let's go ride bikes.
There you go.
Like adrenaline just sort of hit, and I was like awake, and I got out of my tent, and I was like, let's do this. We had kind of a shit show that whole race. And in the end, I'm like bummed because we just missed the podium. I hit the only time I've ever done it in my life, bike with the parking garage. Oh yeah, on top. Only been a hanger, so we got it fixed, raced, but I get back to my vehicle to bring it over to the race area, and I'm like, oh, stupid rack. I got to destroy, I have to get rid of it. I bike in the back. I pull up and they're like, dude, hurry up. And I'm like, what? And they're like, we're on the podium. We end up getting third. My first race ever.
Oh, nice.
It was awesome and like just added to being hooked to it.
Totally.
But like the group of friends and that camaraderie. I have best friends that I met through racing that I may have never met. That don't even, don't live in this area I never raced with kind of thing, but met them from another town. And then we go to the same races together. And now we're longtime best friends for, over 20 years.
That's best friends.
Yep.
One step above homies.
Yep. A couple of those could slide into the homie category. We'll see.
We'll see. Okay. So how about this? So big costume guy. And I know you love asking this question to your interviewees. What's your favorite costume piece?
Favorite costume piece. I did just see a picture of me as a fembot. That was for the mustache ride. That was pretty rad. Oh yeah, check out the mustache ride on Facebook. You should come first Saturday in October every year. You learned it on the stakeout.
Tell them Rob sent you.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. That is, it's funny because I thought about it as I asked people, and I always like something different. I think popped up every single time. But some of the group ones we've done have been some of the best. And the Royal Tenenbaums as a group, again for the mustache ride. I was I'm gonna space his name now, but I was
Luke Wilson?
Luke Wilson's
Richie
yes.
Tenenbaum with the headband and
it's sports coat and
tennis racket.
My wife was Margot.
Margot with
we had Ben Stiller and the kids,
for sure,
all in their wigs and tracksuits, but
love it.
The whole group was amazing. But then again, so was Austin Powers.
That's true. There's nothing like a good group costume.
Me and Justin from the Barley were both fembots.
There you go. Love it. Okay, so if you were on a deserted island, what would be your last food and beverage that you would bring with you?
Well, food's easy. Ice cream.
Ice cream.
I can't believe everybody that I've interviewed so far, not one person has said ice cream. It's always like the steak and potatoes or this and that. And I'm like, ice cream. Like if I ever got an ice cream tattoo, I basically wanted it to be like this ice cream and it was like melting into my body. That's how much I love ice cream. So yeah, ice cream could be all kinds of flavors. You can always go with the natural vanilla bean is an easy go-to. It's perfect.
Fair enough.
Drink. Can I have two? Can it be alcoholic and non-alcoholic, or you just have to go with it?
I like it. NA, alcoholic.
Well, NA, I'm not gonna lie to you. Water. Ice cold, and I mean ice cold. Because some people are like, oh, the ice cold water's not good for you. You got to drink the warmer stuff. Bull crap. Ice cold water is just guzzling it, refreshing. It's amazing. And then Japanese whiskey.
Yeah.
So in the end, I'd probably just go with ice cream and Japanese whiskey.
There you
go. Rock, single glass.
Yeah, good little back
or coconut, possibly in my situation,
sure.
And no ice, but then you just put the whiskey in, you'd be fine.
Yeah. Cool. Well, last question. And speaking of beverages, what's in your mug?
It's not coffee.
There we go. You heard it here first, guys. Thanks for joining us here at the Stakeout. It's Dirtbag Dan here with Rob.
Thanks, Dirtbag Dan. That was awesome. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you, man. All right.
On the Stakeout. We'll see you next time. Yes.